All right. This one is a great question. And this is one of those questions that you're only going to get on Fox. I could be wrong on this, but this is one of those questions you would never in a billion years get on MSNBC. At least I don't think you would. Superdelegates. Now, you must understand here, this is why this town hall debate is also awesome, because there's politics going on even in the conversation. Fox News is clearly in the tank for the Republican Party. They can't come across as being overly, gross, because they still have to have this kind of facade of being a news organization. So this has to be somewhat on the level in regards to them having this platform, even though it's going to be to the right in the way they project the world, their worldview. But any opportunity that's available to get a dig and to stick your fingernail and just pry a little bit within what's going on within the Democratic Party, they're going to take their shots. Well, this is one of those shots that is just a damn good question any way you cut it, even though this is not probably a question you get on MSNBC. Superdelegates. Why do you believe the Democratic Party won't screw you again? They screwed you the first time around. Why don't you think they're going to do it again? You have all those superdelegates lined up. Those superdelegates haven't gone anywhere, Mr. Sanders. So, what are you going to do about it? And why do you think it's going to be on the level? Let's hear the question. I love this question. Great question, shiny human beings at Fox News.
He's obviously been around for a long time. Are you worried that the DNC might put its finger on the scale again, the way that they did to you back in 2016 with Hillary Clinton?
Well, you're right. We went through that in 2016.
Yeah.
And I think we have come a long way since then. So we speak to the DNC every week. And I think the process will be fair. One of the important changes that
By the way, just so we're clear, the issue here is not just the DNC. Let's be very clear. It's DNC and vestiges of the DNC and these like non-profits. They have these arms, like Center for American Progress. These things that pretend to be some kind of neutral within the party itself, but aren't neutral by any stretch of the imagination. You're talking about journalists, MSNBC, places like that that fired Ed Schultz because Ed Schultz was trying to cover Sanders. It's not just the Democratic Party in and of itself. It's also the Democratic Party and the way that politics colludes and intermingles with media. Do you remember in some of the WikiLeaks documents, there were calls of saying how people would befriend Sanders and then turn and change at the end to try to bring Sanders supporters over to the sides? This is the level of politics that these guys were using. Even media, the thing that is supposed to shape the reality of individuals itself, was being shaped by political or economic whims. It's not just the DNC. I'm not saying Sanders doesn't know this, but it's not just the DNC. Let's rewind this question. Let's hear it one more time. Where is it? All right, let's start right here.
And I think we have come a long way since then. So we speak to the DNC every week. And I think the process will be fair. One of the important changes that we made, and we won, is, as you will recall, both of you recall, in the last time around, in 2016, Secretary Clinton had 500 superdelegates lined up behind her before the first vote was cast in Iowa. And that seemed to me pretty dumb and unfair. Well, that process has been changed. And I think that works well for everybody.
But let me ask you, just because now the process is that in the next round, the superdelegates would come into play. And with so many candidates on the Democratic side, it's possible that somebody doesn't get 50%. Yep. Are you concerned about it? Are you talking to the DNC about that? Could
well,
that
that's what the rule is. I mean, that's where we are right now. But you're right. I would hope that the Democratic Party understands what they did some years ago. And that is, what we want to hear from is not political insiders and campaign contributors. You want to hear from ordinary people in Iowa and Pennsylvania, and they should determine who the next Democratic nominee will be.
Okay, let's go to another question. Jordan is a student from
Bernie Sanders, if you remember, I think it was yesterday, put a letter on the door of American Progress, Center for American Progress, and it's campaign arm. I guess you can say his political active arm, and kind of made this point that, look, cut off the shenanigans in attacking lefties. Now, I strongly suspect that that was more along the lines of stop attacking me, especially since we're trying to have a campaign of ideas. But stop attacking me looks a little bit not as good as stop attacking us, lumping Elizabeth Warren and laughably Cory Booker into this process. So he knows that it's not just them. He knows they're more enemies than just the Democratic Party per se. But it's kind of sad that that he's fighting the Democratic Party that he's running in. So let's keep going. There's another one on